Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is join two fabrics together. So there's a couple setup things we have to do. So we're gonna measure, this is different. We're gonna measure at 3 inches this time. So cut 3 inches off. Okay, so we have 3 inches. Then we're going to fold this in half and then cut this in half. So I'm folded in half and created a line. Then we're going to create a seam. So let's do an even basting stitch, and we're going to leave a 1 inch hole. So we're gonna sew to 1 inch as a basting stitch, and a small even basting stitch here. We're gonna leave a hole and then stitch another inch. So I'm gonna go down about a 1/2 inch here. Actually, yeah, about 3/8. I'm gonna go 3/8, which is 3 lines. So let's see how it did. Yep, right there. So 3/8. And I'm just gonna do a basting stitch to mimic like a seam. And I'm just going and I'm only going to do this for 1 inch. Still have about 1 more stitch. Let's see how that is. Okay, so that's 1 inch. So I'm going to tie that off. And then I'm going to go and do 1 inch on the other side. So let's see, so that's 1 inch there. So I'm going to start right there and continue kind of my invisible line there. And then tie that off. All right, so now it should look something like that. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to join 2 pieces of fabric together. So I've got a hole here. So how am I going to fix that? This is how you're going to do that. So this is like if you had a hole in the side of your, like a garment, or you were sewing up a pillow, or if you were anything that had some sort of a hole in it, this is how you're going to fix that. So what you're going to do is you're going to back tack a little bit into the seam to hide your knot. So there's my knot, and I'm going to tuck that inside there. Get it in there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small stitch on the opposite side of the fabric, the piece of fabric that is away from you. Then you're going to take a small stitch right across from where that thread came out onto the fabric that is closest to you and pull. And then you go back to the fabric that's away from you and go into the fold, slide the needle on the fold, and then pull. And then you come back to the fabric that's closest to you, slide the needle in the fold, and pull. And then you go to the opposite side again. So you're taking a small stitch on the fabric that's away from you. And then you go to the fabric that's the closest to you, into the fold. You're just sliding the needle in the fold. And then, once again, slide the needle here, and then opposite. And you just keep going back and forth till you get your hole sewn up. I think I'm almost there. I think I got one more stitch to do. And you would use the same color thread, so then you wouldn't really see your stitches. Okay, so now I've got the hole closed. See, it's not, I'm pulling it. If you had this in white thread, you wouldn't even be able to see that. So now I need to knot it off. So I'm gonna do a pull, and now I don't want my knot hanging out here. So what I do is I kind of go in between the two pieces of fabric and the seam, and I kind of just take another stitch and I kind of pull gently. Sometimes you can feel the knot kind of pull through, but I just hide it inside the seam there. And then I cut really close to these scissors are really bad. They've been around for a long time. Okay, so then there's how you join two pieces of fabric together, and then you'll just staple it here, and it's kind of looks like this on the other side. And then we'll just, when you staple this to your paper, I want you to staple it so let's see, let's just fold this back like this so it doesn't get into the other fabrics. And then just staple that to your paper or pin it to your paper. Okay.